Does it say we're live?
Yeah. We're live on LinkedIn.
Nice. Is that a plane?
People just see me drinking. Is that a plane? Is that what you're saying? No, that is a lot of things going on outside my door right now at the worst possible time. And I don't think there's anything I can do about it. We got that going on out there. I got a dog whining out my door here.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. He's fine. He's fine. No Dave today.
No Dave.
He'll be back next week. Just you and I. You got to hold it down.
Mm-hmm. Like we did last week.
I think the noise moved back there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we might be okay. We'll have to get the stream done in time so they don't come back around.
Last week was good. I was out, but I was watching.
You stayed involved. You were up in the comments. I was impressed.
I
was surprised. Let's see. It's Friday 15. Should we try to keep it a tight 15 today?
We could try.
I feel like we always kind of try. I don't know if you could just hear Mason on the other side of the door.
No, I can't.
Okay, good. He's going, It's really nice. All right. Think we're ready for the countdown? The countdown that we love, even though it's a full 30 seconds and it takes a long time. But
it's good.
I know. Toby.
Hey.
It's like we hadn't been talking already before the countdown.
The countdown is great. Oh, Mason has fans already.
Oh, Lauren knows Mason. And yes, he is a handsome boy. He just has his moments. And he heard me say that now and he just went,
Well, you locked the door and he's just outside.
It's not locked. He does not have thumbs. He won't be able to get in, so I didn't have to lock it. We're okay. He's just a small dog. He's only 45 pounds. He's not coming in.
Oh, wow. That's cute.
Yeah. Anyways, so welcome to Friday 15 as we kind of get going here. Toby and I talked about trying to keep it to a tight 15. I don't know.
We'll give it our best shot.
Yeah, we'll give it our best shot. Don't forget to go follow us on social channels. I think one of the big things we want to talk about is September 23rd. Oh, I forgot to mute my alerts too. There's a lot going on over here today, Toby. September 23rd, we have Labs Live coming back, where we're going to talk about remote hiring, remote onboarding. If you're looking to grow your team, know somebody that's looking to grow their team, maybe they've paused hiring for a little bit. This is a great episode for them to join, to ask questions, to watch along. It'll be a LinkedIn event, so you can sign up, RSVP yes. That way you'll get alerted when the stream happens. And then you can add it to your calendar, right? And then you have a link.
Mm-hmm. And I think even whether or not, like you know someone that wants to grow their team, I think just because that's the way the world is working right now, it's like a very relevant episode to understand like how teams are hiring people in like different parts of the country and onboarding when you can't see in person. I think it's really cool. I'm excited to learn about it because both Jackie and Karen they do this thing. They do it all the time. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I should mention that Jackie, our director of onsite, and then Karen, a people partner, will be joining us as guests to talk about this. Jackie specifically talking about what she sees in the market right now, maybe some of the hesitations and or some of the needs that she's seen from a hiring standpoint. And then Karen's going to talk about the remote onboarding process. So maybe some tips, tricks on how to do that. Make sure that your new team members are successfully integrating into your current team. So I think it's going to be a great episode. At least we'll throw a little RSVP for Onsite Labs Live.
Nice.
I don't think you can click the link on the live stream, but it'll be in the comments. And that's the important thing. You can click it there. No, it's in the comments. Don't worry, Toby. All right. So let's jump into it, shall we? Let me bring our banners up here and we'll talk about the first thing, which is Peloton. Peloton launches Bike Plus and Tread. So for those that aren't maybe familiar, I feel like everyone's familiar with Peloton at this point. They've kind of been like in popular culture at a terrible commercial, but they can't build bikes fast enough. And so they are a physical bike with a live streaming and recorded catalog service. So it's physical meets software. And I got to tell you, Toby, I've had one for the past 3 years now. And it's pretty remarkable. And yeah, there's the experience of riding it and doing the classes, and that's all well and great. And that's cool. But really the most incredible thing is the fact that they keep updating the software, right? So this is a bike that keeps getting updated software, and so it never truly feels old. And I think that is a pretty remarkable thing with a stationary bike. So they have 2 new things coming out. They currently have a bike and a treadmill. Now they have Bike Plus, which is an upgraded version of their bike. The biggest thing is it has a screen now that swivels around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of neat because Peloton offers, off the bike classes like yoga, some weight training.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is kind of something that elevates your workout space, wherever that might be, by flipping that around and take those classes. And then Tread, not Tread Plus, because the current treadmill will be Tread Plus, and so this one will be Tread, so it'll come in right under the Tread Plus.
Is it like just a treadmill?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the same thing. It's a treadmill, but it has a screen. I haven't used that. I don't like to run. So.
Me neither. I was saying like it's just so good when when you were talking about how the software always makes it feel new or even newer. It reminds me a little bit about like when I think even till now Tesla, like when people buy it, what most of them talk about is like, oh, I keep getting software updates, so my car feels like it's better over time, or like your iPhone when you have software updates and it actually works. So I think it's like just a great model that they have running there.
Well, it's interesting. K-Nate, Detroit Labs team member, I had, he's had a Tesla for some time now, so it's kind of fun to talk to him and figure out learn his experience with it and if he likes it. And one of the things that he told me that was really just kind of mind bending was he could take it in and swap out the CPU. So he could, I think you have to pay, but there are no other cars, to my knowledge, that you can take in and swap a CPU out or do that level of upgrade. So I think that's pretty remarkable. And I think it's amazing when you can launch a piece of hardware, car, bike, treadmill, and update the software over time. It's pretty incredible.
That's better. Yep.
It's the way it should be, Toby. Software rules the world.
Soon enough.
What do you mean soon enough? It does.
It kind of does. It just
Toby, we build software. You're supposed to say it rules the world, not soon enough. We need it to rule it now. Anyways, let's move on. GM and Nikola. So GM took a massive stake in Nikola. That is a truck EV company, right? They have an amazing looking pickup truck.
Nice.
And it's fuel cell though, right? So
little big hydrogen, so it's a little bit different from Tesla, because like I do wonder, like in terms of like infrastructure for fuel cell, I don't know how popular that is, because now like we go around the block, you see like charging stations, but I don't know how that applies for fuel cell as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you see that. I think it depends on where you live on the charging stations available. But I think the interesting thing is it's a $2 billion stake in Nikola, which translates to 11%. That's it.
Wow.
It's kind of interesting. I still
like
remember
a $20 billion company.
Oh, yeah, do the math. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I think it's amazing. Obviously, both companies were trading up after after it was announced, and I think the interesting thing is, certainly it makes sense for GM because it's a new technology, and as they're looking to develop new technologies, a lot of times it just makes sense to go out and buy it. You have some of these smaller, a little bit more nimble companies are coming out with really interesting things. Buying tends to be a good route, but I think the most interesting, before you jump in here, is that Nikola, they're looking to GM from a manufacturing standpoint. And I think the reason that's so interesting is maybe they've learned from Tesla. Tesla's, the biggest challenge Tesla's always had is manufacturing, quality control, making sure that they can hit goals, and they've done an amazing job doing that. But Elon Musk has really run things pretty thin and overexhausted team members to try to get to there. So it's interesting that Nikola is looking to GM, to have GM do what they do best.
Yeah, and GM is great at that. Like they have figured this out for so many years. They can just like keep pumping out those trucks. So it's kind of like exciting to see what Nikola, like if they're able to like and even like in the truck space, like GM is great at trucks. So it's interesting to see where this goes. And as you were just talking about buying and building, it got me curious. This is like a little bit segue. Like it's kind of related to software a little bit when like companies are deciding, oh, should we build, should we buy? And this is sort of like a hybrid of like we're buying some parts of it, but we're like we're gonna build it, basically. So it's interesting to see when that not only applies to like software but also like hardware as well.
Speaking of hardware, I'm going to throw a curveball at you because we didn't talk about this one, but Xbox Series X was announced. It's going to release on November 10th, but pre-orders are September 22nd, and has a $500 price tag, which is interesting. Cool. I think for those of us that know what a gaming computer costs, $500 seems like a very affordable price.
Still,
I think if you're only in the console world, you look at $500 and that looks expensive. But the specs are amazing. 8-core custom CPU, 16 gigs of RAM. The GPU is incredible. I think one of the interesting things for all the new gen consoles is going to be the SSD, the storage. They're promising almost no load times. I think they're promising no load times, but I think we should probably expect almost no load times.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so we don't have to continue to hit the X button the entire time, or the square button, or whatever button it is that you want it to move faster, thinking that will make the load go faster, but it won't. So this will be interesting. PlayStation 5, it's going to be right around the same time. Commerce is going wild.
Yeah. Everywhere people are buying things right now. Like I can even confirm for myself, besides grocery shopping, which is on the regs, I feel like this, especially during this post end of summer, beginning of fall, there's a lot of Amazon activity. I can even notice it for myself, and I can just imagine, and I'm not somebody that like buys stuff in general. And I can just imagine like amplified in the US with holidays coming up, Halloween coming up, Christmas coming up, birthdays, lots of shopping.
Yeah, the gaming industry in general has just been through the roof. Trying to, if you try to go buy a console right now, it's extremely difficult. So when it comes to, pre-ordering a new console, at first I thought, that's a silly way to do it. But now that you look at, stock is out on pretty much everything, it probably does make sense to pre-order something like this. Whether you go the Xbox route or PlayStation route, I'm sure there's folks that will have strong opinions on each. But, to the holiday shopping, it is seeing a big increase in mobile-specific shopping, right?
Yeah. It's so easy. It's like, I feel like, well, it's obvious it's easy, but like I feel like as we stay indoors, maybe some people use their computers less besides work. You not think of work as like computer as work, and then maybe on your own personal time, just relaxing in maybe like your phone or your iPad, and just like, oh, now this is the time you do your leisure stuff, which might include shopping.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, a computer seems like it's a to-do.
It's work. When I open my computer, it's work.
I don't. We probably don't have how that to work for you, but yeah, you're more intentional about going to a computer. I've always said mobile's an extension, while being on a computer is much more of a destination. You have to like really
You have
be.
to think about it.
Yeah, you have to. You go to your computer. It's a whole process versus just pulling out your phone, opening an app, and because of that, I mean, Amazon's crushing it. I mean, they're right at everyone's fingertips. And speaking as a parent, you don't always have time to bust out that laptop or sit down on an iMac or whatever computer you're on. Sometimes the iPhone works in between putting the kids to bed or waiting for them to finish a meal that takes forever. The phone's helpful. Takes forever, yeah. Toby. One takes forever. One is done in 5 minutes.
I was the kid that took forever. My meals were hours. When I was a kid.
Your meals were hours?
When I was a kid, because I think my mom had this, maybe my aunt, to be like, well, if you don't finish it, don't get up. Then I'm just like at the dining table, like I will eat 1 spoon of rice and then I would like play around, but I can't leave the dining table because I have to finish it. So it's like a whole to do. So I was that kid.
Okay. All right. Marathon eater. All right. Let's move on, Toby. Let's see. Tell me about Harmonyos. I don't understand this. I don't understand why there's another operating system for phones. Fill me in here.
The proprietary OS that I think is pronounced Huawei, I'm not sure, that they're trying to build. Maybe there's like a rift between, I think there's some political stuff in there too, between like China and the US and Android, Google and Huawei, and trying to just have their own thing. So they're building their own OS. I think they have about 90,000 apps now. But when you think about Android and iOS, we're talking millions of apps. So I think they launched it in their developer conference, and they're hoping there'll be more development, there'll be more apps, and maybe in 2021, this could be their own thing. It could be big in Asia, who knows? I personally think it's very unlikely for it to be big in the US, just because of how Android and iOS have such a stronghold here. Right. And just the apps, like you would want to like have an app, like a phone that can have Instagram, that can have all the apps that everyone else uses. Sure. So that is, it's proprietary, and I don't think it's open source like Android. So I'm curious to see where it goes, and if other like phone manufacturers will go that route instead of like depending on Google.
Seems like this has popped up a couple times, right? Palm had the web OS. Microsoft had their OS. I think Samsung had one they were developing on Tizen or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Remember that? Yeah. I don't think that kicked off. They also had Bixby, which was their own little virtual assistant that just left us this year. So R.I.P. Bixby. So it's kind of interesting. It's hard to go after Apple, and it's hard to go after Google. I mean,
it's so difficult. There's
a lot of people trying to go after Apple right now, right, wrong, or indifferent. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes. This is definitely one that I agree may not be great in the U.S., but outside of the U.S., this could be successful. We'll see.
Yeah, there's money everywhere.
Yeah, maybe you'll have to build some apps on it, Toby.
Pass.
all right. Let's get to our last one here. This is the one that you were really excited about. Bose.
Oh,
they have music playing sunglasses. They've had them, and they're coming back. Thoughts on music playing sunglasses, Toby?
How did they like? Because I was looking at the picture. Do they like connect to like your actual ears, or they just kind of like send vibrations through like your ear bones or something? That's my suspicions.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm probably should look it up. I'm fairly certain it's
vibrations
through your bones here, because I have what are called skull bones or something. They go here, and then it's the vibration through your skull, and it works pretty well. I don't know. It seems like maybe I don't need these.
You never know. I think it's a very summer vibes thing. Like you go on the beach.
Well, it's returning at the right time then.
Probably a month late. This is I'm wearing a hoodie right now.
Probably 4 months late.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I think summer, although I'm excited, but like I think summer is bowing out here.
Yeah, they're yeah. I don't know. They don't look great either.
Wow.
But whatever. I mean, maybe you need some speakers in your sunglasses, and if that's the case, then this is right up your alley. I will say, I do like some of the Bose's in-ear stuff. I find that they have some of the most comfortable tips, at least for my ears. So
They have great products. Gotta give them that. They make good stuff. And even if I don't use this, I can see the use case of like you want to carry one less thing. Do you want to go with your sunglasses and your AirPods, or do you just want to like lay down sunglasses and listen to music?
I don't think I'm following you on that. I appreciate your take on that, but I don't think I'm with you there. I feel like you lose a lot of flexibility having two very distinctively different things built into one.
That's fair.
But to each their own. And I look forward to hearing your experience with your Bose sunglasses when you get them. So, all right, Toby. I think with that we're wrapping it up. Did you have any other stories that you wanted to talk about before we get going?
No, just to reiterate, excited for Labs Live to speak with our on-site team on remote hiring, remote onboarding. Um, that's how we work right now. So I'm excited to learn more from them. So looking forward to that. And it feels like it's been like ages since we did Labs Live. So I miss it a lot.
Yeah, so it has been a little while. I think we've kind of transferred over to this more of a once a month, once every 5 to 6 weeks type cadence. I think the great thing about that is it allows us to spend a little bit more time on each episode. Have guests ready to roll, ready to talk about some interesting topics, and try to also be timely with our information, right? As we lead up to the end of the year here, that's typically when companies are looking to hire. I also think that being at home has just settled in for a lot of folks, a lot of companies, and now they're the projects didn't dry up, so the projects are still there. Stakeholders are still expecting things to be delivered, and so teams need to scale. So I think now is a very timely time.
Wow, timely, timeless time.
None of those worked, but it's a good time to do this episode. So don't forget, at least put the link in the comments there. It's up on the screen as well. Don't forget to go there, sign up, pass it along to people friends, colleagues, family. Maybe Kyle's mom will be on there. Everyone, she joins those. That's nice. So pass that on to everybody. Sign up, RSVP, and we will talk to you later. See you, Tobes.
See ya.